Bill Bleycher's Trip by John Thomas Barron, Jack O'Hands. Some trippers safe back home again have lively tales to tell of what they seen and heard while off by seaside, lake or fell. For they've had journeys long and short, it's made 'em gay or sad, as they've gone through experiences of all sorts, good and bad. Some's been as lucky as can be, and now to all's gone wrong, for not a speck of trouble's marred their joys among to merry throng, while others have drept him for it reet, and not a single day went by 'bout summer happening to fill 'em with dismay. Bill Bleycher made a mess on it reet through promising his wife as who should have at holidays the best outing of her life. A neighbour of theirs wrote and gave 'em lodgings up to mark, then saddling what to take caused Bill and to wife some weary work. Soon who complained her clothes were far too shabby to go there, 'cause neighbours they were sure to meet on to promenade or pier. And if I'm not dressed fine as them, they'll nubbut skit and say who'd ha' done better if who'd stopped at home for th' holiday. Bill studied for a while in doubt, then blurted out, "Now, lass, thou knows as well as me we're not all flush with ready brass. We have a bit in bank, but that I want to keep aside. So hang it, Elsie, be sensible, not buffled up with pride." "Pride? Is it pride, that gobbin' whore, who snapped with glinting e'en? They may go shabby if they likes, not me, I'm noan so green. I'll either be like other folk, done greyly, dost ta know, in summat that's worth looking at, or I won't go at all." That made him scratch his head a bit and whistle low beside. He'd had to give in that he knew, to make her satisfied. For till who gied away o' wad who had to wear by the foam, there'd be no happiness in life, no pleasures in their home. Still Bill would act contrary like, till one day he said, "Well, I've studied things o'er, Elsie, and think thou'd better suit thyself, and when there's getting all the needs to make a fancy show, they'll happen feel content and have some thought for me and all. Now, Bill, that's shapping some bit like, and for once in thy life, I'll give thee credit, thou'st shown plain, that's some thought for thy wife." Then laughing, he said jokingly, "Stop that soft soaping, lass, for why's but little credit give 'bout wanting ready brass. If that's all the difference, suit thyself," who choked and softly smiled, as who went ordering all her needs as suited as a child. Then when who tried her new things on, Bill with a sackless grin said, "Thou looks greyly well, me lass, but where do I come in?" "That's what I want to talk about," who answered, cool and free. "Thou but look badly with yon clothes thou's aside of me. So thee get a new rig out too, be handy, don't delay. But off to the tailor's, come I'll go down with thee, part o' way." Bill stared to hear her talk like that, who'd seldom done it afore, for generally who said as brass spent rashly kept folk poor. So her advice he took right off, and soon down street they went, in wi' a rather puzzled look, and her all smiles content. They hadn't gone so far when who by a shop window stopped. "And isn't that nice?" who cooed, as sharp inside who bocked. In little time who fluttered back, then whispered in his ear, "Hey, Bill, I should look well in that, with thee aside at beer." Bill welly gasped as who exclaimed with a soft wheedling smile, "Now, Bill, just buy it, and us want no more hats for a while." And the poor chap, neatly trapped like lots, besides with women's tricks, said right and paid for it, as who cried, "It's cheap at 12 and 6. "Now they get measured," who remarked as Bill felt at his fob. "They'll get a suit made up, but don't pay more than 30 bob. It's all we can afford to pay 'bout running into debt, so don't spend more because thou knows I want some new boots yet." Bill had to make his out hat do, and stain his shoon wi' ink. There's nowt licks o'er economy, who said, so what folk think. Then busy packing up they spent a full half day or more, and Bill felt tappy as a lad from to school when all were o'er. When they set off at Tholiday, what a show they made, as proud they let their neighbours know, we've sent the box on ahead. But when they took station barrier reached, the cry, tickets, give 'em shocks, for Bill's wife bawled out, what a mess, I've packed 'em into box. They missed 2 trains with Moither in, and the outlook were but black, till to railway chaps said they'd be paid for the tickets they brought back. Then tossed among that swinging crowd they get away at last, but when they reached the far end, they found their troubles weren't all past. They gazed at the waves and joined in crowd, then picture their distress. They'd lodgings to go to, but where were to card with reet address. So round they rambled like lost sheep, theirs were a weary case, till an old chap the news said, come, I'm lodging at same place. While they'd a sail, Bill lost his hat, a new un he'd to buy, and when his soil come off on t' sands, his missus heaved a sigh. But after all their queer mishaps, they've had a tip-top week at the waterside and landed back with house glow o'er their cheek.